Today we're going to do an example with pivot tables. The spreadsheet you're looking at contains data for lab usage in Smith 212 and 234 starting from September 26th through October 30th. There's 930 or so rows of data here. And what I've added is a column so we can figure out what day of the week each date corresponds to. We've got the weekday function, tells me what day of the week it is, and then a simple VLOOKUP will tell me which day of the week that the data corresponds to. So now, in order to better understand this data, we're going to use a pivot table. I'm going to insert pivot table. We select the entire set and the menu comes up, and I'm going to grab the entire set of data and I'm going to put the pivot table on a brand new worksheet. I'm going to take what I'd like to do is set up my pivot table so that it shows me each room and the number of people who visit that room each day. So I'll choose the day, and I'll choose the lab code, and I'll choose the date as the values to report. But I would like the row labels of my table to be the lab codes. The column labels will be the day, so I'll move that up there. And the actual date will be the values that I chart, and I'm actually counting them. So once I do that, you can see that the pivot table shows me 22 people came in on Sunday, and Wednesdays is the busiest day, is a busy day, and Tuesday is a busy day here in Smith 234 as well. If I want to change this and only filter out, so I only see weekends, for example, I can just choose weekends and just see that data as well. Let me clear out the filters. I can do a chart by doing pivot chart, and I'll choose the first one. And this shows me that going Sunday through Saturday, the number of people who came into each room. Again, I can filter the data and show me just Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And the data will update as well. If the data changes, so perhaps this Smith 212 should really be Smith 234, then on my pivot table, I need to go back and under pivot options, refresh the data. So if I do a refresh, you should see the numbers changed so that to reflect the change in the data that I made on the other sheet. What I'd also like to do is figure out how to analyze this data based on the hour of the day. So what I'm going to do now is go back to the lab usage column, add a function called hour, and this will give me the hour of the day from the date column. I'll drag this all the way down. And then what we'll do is we'll try and figure out which hours of the day are the busiest in all of the rooms. So we're dragging down the hour function. There's probably a better way to do this, but this will work for now. And so we can see the different hours of the day. Let me go back to my pivot table. And now under pivot table options, I'm going to change the data source to add column E, which is the hour column. And I'll add that to my table as well. But let's put the hour column as labels. Let's this time filter it so that the day goes as a filtering choice. And we'll put the lab code as a row label, and this is a column label. So now when I look at my data, take a look at what we've got. Make the chart a little bit bigger. I can make the legend a little bit bigger too so we can see they're all there. I will turn off on the hours. I'm going to turn off 0, and because people don't check in after midnight, 8 and 10 and 11 because we're not really open those hours. So in terms of, that makes things a little simpler. And now I can see that if I choose all the days, I can see which hour is the busiest. It looks like Smith 212 is sort of busy around 16, which is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And Smith 234 is pretty busy around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And if I just choose any other given day, my chart will update, my graph will update to show me the values for that day. So using pivot tables is really easy to take data that's really complicated like this and has really no meaning into it and make sense out of it. The last task that we're going to do is go back to the pivot table options and add a slicer and just choose the day. The slicer puts this nice little interface over here. We can make it look pretty. And then as I choose the different day of the week, the chart will update automatically using the slicer. There you go. Enjoy exploring pivot tables.